Hello everyone, welcome to my dental tutorial channel. I hope you all are fine and you people are holding yourself up well in this difficult time of COVID-19. So today we will be studying a very important topic, that is emergencies in dentistry. If a patient comes to you, he has some heart problem and while getting treatment on your dental chair, the patient has myocardial infarction. Or if a diabetic patient comes to you, he falls into hypoglycemia or maybe hyperglycemia, or a very conscious patient who is kind of very apprehensive, he falls into vasovagal syncope. These all are emergencies in dentistry that a dentist has to deal with. Before we start discussing the emergencies in detail, I would first tell you the template that you get in exam to solve questions from emergencies. Guys, always remember this topic is very important. You always get at least 3 or 4 questions from this topic, and this topic is very confusing as well because you have to remember a lot of things. Today my criteria of discussion will be, I will first write down the question and then we'll discuss each and every emergency in detail. Guys, you have to remember a lot of things in emergencies because you need to know the signs and symptoms of the conditions. So let's start discussing emergencies in dentistry. I hope you will enjoy this topic. Guys, this is the template. These are only 6 options because I didn't have that much space on my whiteboard, but there are at least 7 or 8 more options in this template. I'll start discussing them one by one and I'll write the rest of the options as well. So what type of options do we get in emergency questions? Let's read out the question. Which of the following is or are appropriate for the management of patient? For example, you have a patient of vasovagal syncope or you have a patient of diabetic shock. Then you have to answer the question from the following options. Let's discuss these options. First is no intervention necessary. For example, if you have an emergency in which you don't need to do anything, then you'll have to choose no intervention necessary. Second is place patient in supine position. This means that you have to change the position of the patient. For example, if a patient is sitting upright on the dental chair and there is some emergency in which you need to change the position of the patient and that position should be supine, or patient should be placed in a position that his legs should be raised, then you will choose place patient in supine position. Third is administer acetyl salicylic acid or aspirin. Fourth one is administer diphenhydramine, for example in case of mild allergy. Then is administer epinephrine, that is you have to administer epinephrine into the patient in the form of injection, maybe intramuscular or intravenous. For example, if a patient comes to you and he suddenly has a very severe allergic reaction, then is administer glucagon or oral glucose, that is you have to either inject glucagon or you give the patient to drink some glucose solution. For example, if a patient has diabetic shock or hypoglycemia. Next is administer nitroglycerin. For example, if a patient has angina or myocardial infarction, you might need to administer nitroglycerin. Next is administer oxygen. Then is administer salbutamol. For example, if a patient has asthma, you might need to administer salbutamol. Next is breathe into cupped hands. For example, if a patient has hyperventilation, then you might have to choose breathe into cupped hands. Guys, the next option is head tilt chin lift. This option is always chosen whenever a patient is unconscious. Then is ventilate patient and begin cardiac compression. For example, if a patient comes to you and he has cardiac arrest, you might need to give him CPR. Then you will choose ventilate patient and begin cardiac compressions. Next is abdominal thrust or Heimlich maneuver. Guys, you have to choose this option if a patient has obstruction in his airway because something is not letting that patient breathe properly. Then is finger sweep. For example, if a patient has something stuck into his throat and you can see that thing, so you can use your finger to bring it out, then you will choose finger sweep. Next is use AED. AED means automated external defibrillator. For example, if a patient has cardiac arrest, so as to revive the patient, we will use AED. Then is call EMS, that is Emergency Medical Services or 911. Guys, you will see that in the upcoming section there will be many situations where you will have to call 911 or emergency medical services. Now let's start discussing each and every emergency in detail one by one. Friends, let's start with the cases. This is the case history. Name, age is 45, patient is male, height is 185 centimeters and weight is 67 kilogram. Then blood pressure is 120 by 82 millimeter of mercury. Then is pulse rate, which is 64 per minute. Respiratory rate is 14 per minute. Guys, the normal respiratory rate is 12 to 14 or 15 per minute. Then is temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, which is normal body temperature. Patient's chief complaint is that is patient has pain on left side of mouth while chewing. That is, whenever patient eats something, he chews something, he feels pain. History, patient has spontaneous pain for the past 1 week. Medical history is not significant. Social history is the patient is very anxious. Guys, always read very carefully each and every piece of information that you get in the history or as an additional information. Here patient is very anxious. Just remember this thing. Additional information. While giving local anesthesia for whatever treatment, patient starts breathing rapidly and complains of numbness around mouth. Guys, always remember, this is the type of questions that you get from emergency. So, patient was getting some treatment. For that, dentist had to administer local anesthesia. So, when dentist started giving him anesthesia, patient started breathing very rapidly and he complained of numbness around his mouth. We first need to identify the emergency. When we identify the emergency, then we need to look for the treatment or how do we manage the emergency. So guys, this is the case of hyperventilation. Hyperventilation. Hyperventilation is a condition in which patient starts breathing very rapidly, for example more than 20 breaths per minute. There are various signs and symptoms of hyperventilation. The first one is very rapid and deep breathing. Second is patient feels numbness around mouth or in his extremities. Then there can be muscle cramps as well. Patient might be feeling very anxious or nervous. Then patient can also say that I feel my heartbeat is getting very fast or my heart is pounding. These are the signs and symptoms of hyperventilation. So now, since we now know the diagnosis of the complaint, which is hyperventilation, now let's discuss the management of this condition, that is the management of hyperventilation. Friends, there are two types of questions that you might get in the exam. One is what is the management, immediate management, and second is what is the appropriate management. Immediate and appropriate. These are two different things. Immediate means the moment patient has a problem, what should a dentist do? This is something very immediate. And appropriate means besides immediate treatment, what else you can do? This comes in appropriate. So appropriate includes immediate as well as some other things as well. In some of the emergencies, the immediate and appropriate management is one and the same. In others, immediate and appropriate managements may differ. In case of hyperventilation, immediate and appropriate management are same. If you remember the template, there was an option which was called breathe into cupped hands. So guys, the answer of the hyperventilation, that is the immediate and appropriate management for the hyperventilation, is breathing into cupped hands. So whenever a patient breathe into cupped hands, for example like this helps to increase the level of carbon dioxide in the blood of that patient. This is the treatment of hyperventilation. So guys, before answering the question, before answering the immediate or appropriate management of a particular emergency, you first need to remember the signs and symptoms of that particular emergency. Only then you will be able to correctly answer the question. So in case of hyperventilation, the hints were the patient started breathing very rapidly. Patient was very anxious. He started breathing rapidly and he complained of numbness around the mouth. These were all signs and symptoms of hyperventilation. So the answer for immediate and appropriate management were same, and that was breathing into cupped hands. Now let's move on to other emergency. I will change the history a little bit and we will discuss the next emergency. Friends, I have kept the history same, but in the additional information, the question says, as soon as patient sat on dental chair, he complained of difficulty in breathing and pounding of heart. Although it is very much similar to the case of hyperventilation, but there is one problem in this, that is patient was not given any kind of injection, patient was not breathing very rapidly. In this case, patient was having some difficulty in breathing and his heart was pounding, or in other words, his heart rate was increased. Patient was very anxious. Guys, if you get a question like this is a case of panic attack. Panic attack. Few signs and symptoms of panic attack are racing heart, feeling weak, faint or dizzy, difficulty in breathing, or sometimes hyperventilation can also occur. Patient can say that I am feeling slight chest pain, or patient can say pounding of heart or increase in heart rate, or patient may be feeling sweaty, or patient may be having chills. Friends, this is a case of panic attack. Before I answer the immediate and appropriate management, I would first like to tell you the difference between panic attack and hyperventilation. If in a given question, the additional information says that the patient's breathing increased more than 19 or 20 breaths per minute, then instead of choosing panic attack, go for hyperventilation. But in case if in the additional information rapid breathing is not mentioned, then don't choose hyperventilation. Then in the same history, panic attack will fit the answer. So now let's discuss the immediate and appropriate management. In the case of panic attack, immediate and appropriate management are same. The first one, which is normal management, is we need to administer oxygen to the patient. That's it. If you just administer oxygen to the patient in a due course of time will be fine and you can again start his treatment. But if the patient has hyperventilation in the history, then you cannot give oxygen, then you need to choose the answer breathing into cupped hands. I'll again write. So if in the history hyperventilation is not there, then immediate and appropriate treatment is administer oxygen. That is the answer. But if in the history it was given as soon as patient sat on dental chair, he complained of hyperventilation and pounding of heart, then we can no longer administer oxygen. Then the answer will be breathing into cupped hands. So if hyperventilation is not mentioned in additional information, then answer will be administer oxygen. But if hyperventilation is there in the additional information, then breathing into cupped hands will be the answer. One thing more, guys, in the additional information it was already mentioned hyperventilation. So always remember, when hyperventilation is already given in the additional information, the answer to the emergency will never be hyperventilation, it will be panic attack. So now we are looking for the treatment of panic attack. If the question was patient was getting injected local anesthesia while sitting on the dental chair and then he started having symptoms, then the answer would be hyperventilation. Because for panic attack there is basically no reason. Patient is just anxious and he is just scared and he starts breathing very rapidly, or he starts feeling heartache, or he starts feeling chills or sweaty. So guys, you need to remember signs and symptoms of each and every emergency, because these signs and symptoms, they really overlap. So that's why the topic of emergencies in dentistry is comparatively difficult when we need to answer the questions in ACJ exam. Friends, this is another case. Name, age, blood pressure, everything is same. Chief complaint, history of chief complaint, medical history, everything is same. In the social history, I have changed it to not significant. In the additional information, it's given that while getting his tooth extracted, patient felt immense pain. He looked pale and shortly thereafter, he lost his consciousness. Guys, we need to read this additional information very carefully. See, patient has no medical history, patient has no social history, but patient felt pain, he looked pale, and after that he lost his consciousness. This is a typical example of vasovagal syncope, or simply we can call it syncope. Syncope. Guys, this is a condition whenever oxygen supply to the brain it decreases, because there is pooling of blood in the extremities. What are the conditions that can lead to syncope? These are if there is immense pain, if the patient feels very much exhausted, or if patient has sudden changes in his posture. What are the signs and symptoms of syncope? The signs and symptoms are, these can be divided into early or late. The early signs are, patient can be seen that he is turning pale or pallor, then is sweating, then is nausea, and in the or the patient may be feeling very anxious. In the late signs and symptoms, first is pupillary dilatation, then is decreased blood pressure, then is decreased heart rate. Patient might feel convulsions, and in the end patient may become unconscious. In most of the cases of syncope, the consciousness is lost, but in very few cases the consciousness is not lost. So we will decide our management based on whether the patient was conscious or unconscious. So now let's start the immediate and appropriate management of syncope or vasovagal syncope. In the case of syncope, both immediate and appropriate management are same. Immediate and appropriate are same. First is, if the patient is not unconscious, place the patient in supine position. For the pregnant ladies, we don't change the position to supine, we roll the pregnant lady on her left side. Now, if the patient is unconscious, then along with supine position, we will add head tilt, chin lift. This option is always added whenever a patient is unconscious. Then the next one is, we will administer oxygen. Sometimes in the exam you might get some additional option, for example monitor vital signs. So in this case, if in the question you get monitor vital signs, there is no harm in choosing that option as well, because if a patient is unconscious, or even if patient is conscious but his blood pressure is dropped, he is not feeling well, so a dentist will definitely check his vitals, that is his respiratory rate, his blood pressure, his heart rate, his pulse rate. So if you get the additional option of monitor vital signs, you should also choose it. Monitor vitals. So let's revise it again. The immediate and appropriate management are same. If the patient is not unconscious, then we will choose supine position, or legs should be raised slightly above the head level. Second is administer oxygen. Even if the patient is conscious, we will administer oxygen as well. Then monitor vital signs. But if the patient is unconscious, then along with supine position, administer oxygen and monitor vitals, we will add another option, head tilt, chin lift.